You're listening to an African Elements top news story for April 2nd, 2025. Please visit our website at africanelements.org for more daily news. CTU resists Trump cuts with new 2025 contract. CTU contract protects Chicago educators, students. By Darius Spearman, African Elements, the Chicago Teachers Union, CTU, and Chicago Public Schools, CPS, have found common ground. They recently announced a tentative 4-year contract agreement. This marks a significant win for labor, especially with potential challenges looming over national education policies. The deal stands out because it avoids the conflict seen in recent years. Historically, negotiations haven't always been smooth. 2 of the last 3 contract talks led to teacher strikes. This time, however, both sides worked to prevent a walkout. This agreement represents stability for educators, students, and families across Chicago, many within our communities. Furthermore, the union highlights this agreement as a proactive step. Compensation is a cornerstone of the new agreement. Chicago educators are set to receive a substantial 16% total raise over the 4-year life of the contract. These raises aren't flat. Annual increases will range between 4% and 8.5%. Additionally, teachers will continue to receive step-based raises, recognizing their years of experience. This structure aims to attract and retain qualified educators. The impact on teacher earnings will be noticeable. New teachers entering the district will start near $69,000. By the 2026-27 fiscal year, the average CPS teacher's salary is projected to climb above $98,000. These financial gains are crucial. They acknowledge the vital work teachers do, particularly in schools serving predominantly Black and brown students, ensuring they can afford to live in the city they serve. Consequently, this investment could help stabilize staffing in historically underserved schools. Overcrowded classrooms have long been a concern for Chicago educators and families. The tentative agreement tackles this issue directly by establishing specific class size limits across different grade levels. For the youngest learners in kindergarten, classes will be capped at 25 students. In grades 1 to 3, the limit is set at 28 students, while grades 4 to 8 will have a maximum of 30 students per class. High schools also see defined limits, ranging from 29 to 31 students, depending on the specific course or setting. Smaller class sizes allow teachers to provide more individualized attention. This is particularly beneficial for students needing extra support, often prevalent in schools facing resource disparities. Therefore, these limits represent a concrete step toward more equitable learning environments across the city. The CTU leadership explicitly frames this contract as a tool to counteract potential negative shifts in federal education policy. CTU President Stacey Davis Gates called the agreement a powerful blueprint for resisting potential Trump-era education cuts. This proactive stance comes amid concerns about policies that could harm public education, particularly for marginalized students. Concerns stem from past actions. The previous Trump administration, for instance, reduced education department staff significantly, potentially weakening the enforcement of crucial civil rights protections like the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, IDEA, and Title IX. Proposed cuts to Title I funding, which heavily supports low-income schools often serving Black communities, and weakened IDEA enforcement disproportionately impacts students of color and those with disabilities. Furthermore, the elimination of contracts with the Institute of Education Sciences hindered vital research on student equity. The CTU contract aims to build local defenses against such potential federal actions. Specific provisions within the contract address key equity concerns. The agreement strongly reaffirms sanctuary school protections. While the provided sources don't detail the exact nature of these protections within this specific contract, the term generally refers to policies limiting cooperation between schools and federal immigration enforcement. This offers a measure of security for immigrant students and their families, a significant population within CPS. Critically, the contract also guarantees the right to teach Black history and culturally responsive curricula. According to CTU President Stacey Davis Gates, this is a crucial defense against movements seeking to restrict discussions of race and history in classrooms. For Black students, seeing their history and culture reflected accurately in their education is vital for identity development and academic engagement. Indeed, securing these protections in the contract ensures that educators can continue this important work without fear of political interference. Beyond salaries and class sizes, the tentative agreement includes several other enhancements. Elementary teachers will gain 10 extra minutes of daily preparation time, bringing their weekly total to 350 minutes. This additional time comes partly from reassigning some professional development days. More planning time allows teachers to better prepare lessons tailored to student needs. Benefits are also expanded. The contract provides tuition reimbursement for up to 300 educators seeking endorsements in bilingual education or English as a second language, ESL. Medical and dental insurance options are broadened for employees earning under $90,000 annually. Notably, the insurance plans will cover abortion services and gender-affirming treatments. Additionally, student resources see a boost, with funding for sports programs set to triple, aides assigned to all general education pre-K classrooms, and an expansion of sustainable schools infrastructure projects from 20 to 70 facilities. Consequently, these varied improvements aim to create a more supportive environment for both staff and students. Reaching a tentative agreement is a major step, but not the final one. The proposed contract faced its first hurdle on April 2nd with a vote by the CTU's House of Delegates. Assuming it passed that stage, it must then be approved by a vote of the full CTU membership. Finally, the Chicago Board of Education needs to formally authorize the contract for it to take effect. This agreement arrives amidst other discussions concerning CPS's future. State Representative Curtis Tarver has proposed legislation that could place the district under the oversight of the Illinois Finance Authority, citing budget worries. While this contract aims to secure resources and protections, the broader financial and political landscape continues to evolve. Nevertheless, the union celebrated the deal on social media, calling it the largest leap forward for Chicago educators and students, signaling confidence in its positive impact. Copyright African Elements.